Today on BRStv, we have episode 6 of the Vertex 120 Clownfish Harem build. Hi, I'm Ryan, your host of BRStv, where each week we cover a new topic related to reefing. This week we're going to take a look at the Clownfish Harem. We'll share how the fish are doing, some of the changes we did to the tank, and finish with a couple minutes of the clowns doing their thing. It's been a year and so far things are going pretty well. Our strategy of heavy feedings, lots of habitat, and large number of clowns has worked out pretty well at dispersing aggression and keeping the tank mates healthy. A month or two ago we did, however, notice one clown that was getting picked on and at the center of the aggression. More or less they kept him pinned in a cave underneath the rocks. Interestingly enough, he was the only fish left that still had an orange face, which made it pretty easy to identify. Our wholesale manager, Nick, was kind enough to trap him and move him to another tank to save him. For any of you that are thinking about maintaining a tank like this, you should know there was a pretty interesting reaction in the tank that happened almost immediately. Without the single fish to pick on, which was different from the rest, the tank entered an aggressive state with quite a bit of fighting. Nothing serious, just a lot of nip fins getting spread around fairly equally. After a couple of weeks, it settled down. There's still nip fins and typical squabbles, but best I can count, there's still 28 clowns in the harem, with one we lost right away, and the orange face we moved to Nick's tank. 29 of 30 at the year point I think is pretty good, and I hope to report the same at the year 2 mark. Couple other changes we made to the tank. Lou and Chad swapped jobs, so Chad is now at our front desk and taking care of the tank. Big thanks to Lou for keeping all of our friends healthy and happy for so long. However, like any new owner, Chad had a few things he wanted to try. The tank was starting to show the effects of our heavy feeding schedule with some algae on the rocks and cyano in the sand. He ended up cutting the feedings back to 4 times a day, added a pair of diamondback sand-sifting gobies to keep the sand clear, and some urchins to try to keep the rock a bit cleaner. Gobies worked out pretty well and the urchins so-so, but just for fun he also added a large bubble tip in the center, which has become some pretty prime real estate. In the last episode we added a Kessel LED light to the Fuge and we got some pretty stunning results. So much that we thought we'd experiment with something new, and we ordered one of the Kessels designed for horticulture with the H350 deep purple designed around promoting vegetative growth. Anecdotally, I have to say the results are producing some pretty ridiculous growth, but this is something I'd like to explore in a slightly more controlled environment. To do that, I asked Vertex to make us this sweet pair of side-by-side test tanks. As soon as we have them up and running, the team and I are going to design a test with a variety of lights, a controlled nutrient environment, and see what differences we can find between many of the common Fuge lights. If you have any ideas on what you'd like to see or how you would run the test, please share your ideas in the comments area down below. Regardless, I think the results will be pretty interesting. I'm going to leave you with a couple minutes of the clowns playing around. As always, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because we release new videos every week. See you next week with another episode of BRStv.